What's going on, good people? It's Will. Tonight I wanted to go over the type of belt that I use for EDC. I had a few people ask me what I'm using, so I figured I'd go over it and then also show how easy it is to set up. So the belts that I'm using are from Core Essentials. I'm using a combination of the EDC gun belt and their classic fashion belt, both of which work. The fashion belt is a little more, I don't want to call it formal, but it's more of a dress belt. But you could just wear that with jeans if you wanted to, and they come in different buckle styles depending on what you wanna do. And then the EDC gun belt is your nylon, so that's a little more casual than the classic fashion belt. But what I'm going to do is show you how you set it up and how easy that can be. With this one, it's not quite as stiff. It's still plenty stiff, but the EDC gun belt is much stiffer. So this actually will make a really good belt for IDPA as well, or just your range trips. This would be an outstanding belt because it's a lot stiffer. Again, both will get the job done, but this one, if you want something really stiff, then this is the ticket. But if you need something that looks a little softer, depending on how you're dressed, then this is going to be the much better option. Obviously, if you have a dress shirt on with it tucked in, you don't want to scream tactical guy and have on the nylon belt, right? We want to go with that gray man theory and fly under the radar. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these out of the way, and I have a third belt, a black one, that I haven't set up yet. And I'm just going to show you how you set them up. Now, if you're not familiar, you may not have noticed, but they don't have any belt holes. There's no holes in there, right? So instead, what happens is the belt buckle actually will interface with these notches here along this track. And these increments, I think they're 1/4 of an inch each. So to give you a little finer tuned ability to adjust them versus your traditional belt. And then each one, you can move your buckle along it. And then there's a button on the belt buckle itself that will release it. But I'll show you that in a second. So what you need to do is measure your belt off. What I did was I took a regular belt that fits the way I wanted it to, and just put this up against it. I made a little mark so I know where to cut. And then what you'll do is you'll just simply cut it to length. Just make sure you're cutting the right spot, because obviously once you cut it once, that's it. You can't make it longer. So I'll cut that. And then if you look, you can see inside there is a reinforced core, right? And that's what gives it its stiffness. Now that's the same for the leather belt as well as the nylon. They both have that insert in there to make it stiffer. All right, so from there, you'll have these teeth here that will sink. I'll turn it that way so maybe you can see them. That will sink into the belt, or bite into the belt to keep it still, and then you'll tie down your set screws. So I'll just put that on. Doing this stuff on camera is always hard, so I'm right behind it. So I push that all the way in until it won't go anymore. All right, push my lever rather. And then they give you a few extra set screws. It's these here. So they give you some extras as well as an Allen key so that you can tighten this down, just to make sure that it doesn't move. So I'll tighten both of these down. Excuse me. And then what I'll do is I'll put it on so you can see what it looks like when you adjust it, because this makes it really easy if you're standing up, sitting down, especially if you're in and out of a car a lot. I carry appendix, so you can make some fine-tuned adjustments throughout the day if you need to, or if you've just eaten a big meal or something, you want to loosen your belt up a little bit. It makes it a lot easier to do that. And you don't have to put yourself in a situation where someone's going to notice that you're carrying a gun. So that defeats the purpose of concealed carry. All right, so then you get something like that. And if I put my belt through, you can hear it. Now this will be on the bottom. I have it upside down. You'll just press on that and you can pull the belt back out. But if not, you can hear it ratcheting in. It won't come back out. I'm pulling on it. That won't come out. If anything, it's going tighter because I'm pushing it the other way. But it won't come back out until you hit the lever, and then you can take it back out. All right, so I'm going to throw that on, and I'll be right back. All right, so I have the belt on. So you just put it on like a traditional belt, of course. and you'll hear the ratcheting system clicking, right, as it gets tighter. I actually need to cut this a little bit shorter, but you can hear it. And then once you hit the lever, it'll come out. If you don't do that, it is extremely secure. It's not going anywhere.
Give me the 14, when it's 14, me kill 14, what you know about? AR-15, the class 16, when you know the start speed.